Leaders give mixed answers to questions about the 2020 election. Do you believe we had legitimate results in California races? And are you willing to publicly contest results of the election in the face of brutal attacks from the media and accusations of being a part of the big lie? And one thing I do want to mention there, guys, I want to be real with you. When we think about election integrity, in California, we don't need like satellites from the Vatican switching the votes with the Russians and Hillary on the rocket ship. We don't need that in California. We don't need any crazy stories. You know what we got in California? We got people that go like this. It goes SEIU. It goes every other union member out there. You can tell me all their names. Some of you probably belong to those unions. I bet we got some school teachers here. We got some Boilermakers here. The unions go out and they go like this and they go, "Hello, sir. I see that you haven't turned your ballot in. I'm here from the ballot collection people, and I'd love to help you collect your ballot. Is there any other ballots in your house? Let me help get those ballots, because, you know, I know you're so busy and you work and you can't get to the ballot box. Give me those 6 ballots. How about your grandma's ballot? Can I get that one while I'm at it?" That's how it works in California. So don't be afraid to vote because you're afraid that, like, the Ukrainians are going to come and hack the system and change the votes. Here in California, state-specific. It's on analog 1970s Xerox machine mode. It is human people that go and knock doors. Just like you guys have been knocking on doors, and just like you guys have been hanging recall flyers with Cynthia Gabaldon, the queen of the San Gabriel Valley here. Let me tell you guys, firsthand, here in California, it is manpower that changes any election result. It is people manually ballot harvesting, which is legal thanks to law changes we had in 2018, and ballot curing, which is also legal here in California thanks to law changes in 2018. I think Lorena Gonzalez was on some of those, my favorite, most hated legislator. So I just want to let you guys know, don't be afraid of the things that your friends send you in the text messages, to the group chats on the Telegram and the Signal, because I'm in all those group chats too. Because here in California, election integrity is literally manpower physically going out and getting ballots, which every single one of you in this room can do. You all can do it. You can go visit your grandparents at the senior apartments and go collect their ballots and all their friends too. And you can text, like Mike Netter said, 20 to 40 of your friends and say, "Hey, did you vote? No? Let me come get your ballot. I'll take it to the ROV for you." So I just wanted to preface that question with that. So Kevin, again, the question was about 2020 elections.
Yeah, so we have to restore trust in our election process. That's fundamental. And, you know, it's no wonder that people don't trust it, because the cheating happens in plain sight. Not only with the things that SJ was just talking about, legalized ballot harvesting. Of course, they changed the law to do all-mail ballots, specifically for this recall. And most shockingly, just a couple months ago, they completely changed the recall laws on the eve of the vote to help Newsom win. And they didn't even pretend otherwise. They admitted this is what they were doing. I don't know if you heard about this. A couple months ago, so we've been thinking there's going to be an election in November for the recall. And the reason we thought that is because a few years ago, they changed the recall laws to try to sabotage a recall that was going on then by dragging it out. And so that made recalls take a lot longer. So that law said, all right, you go through all these steps, which are largely a sham, such as withdrawing recall signatures. There was that whole effort where the final number, what was the final number, Cynthia? Do you remember? 42 or something like that?
Yes.
42 people withdrew their signatures out of 1.7 million. So more people won the Newsom vaccine lottery than actually withdrew their recall signature. But anyway, they put in all these things to drag out the recall process. But as things are getting closer this year, the governor's people are like, well, I don't know if we want to wait until November. That gives them a lot of time to mess other things up, which is actually what they said. They're like, there's going to be big wildfires. There could be. So they put together an urgency bill, which is pretty rare to have a bill that is an urgency bill. It takes effect immediately, that allowed them to change the date of the election to exactly when they wanted it to occur to give Gavin Newsom the best chance of winning. Gavin Newsom himself signed that bill to change the rules for his own recall as the recall was underway. So I spoke against this bill on the floor of the State Assembly. And I actually cited international election monitoring groups, like Jimmy Carter's Foundation, the United Nations. And one of the things they point to as the sign of like a sham democracy, a banana republic, is when those in power change the rules for the election as the election is going on. It's like the oldest trick in the book. And then I said, we don't even need to look to these authorities. Every child, Benson could tell us, knows the word for changing the rules in the middle of the game.
Cheating.
It's cheating. And so Gavin Newsom, and I said this then on the floor of the assembly, I said Gavin Newsom is cheating in the recall, and this legislature is his willing accomplice. So they cheat in plain sight, and then they wonder why people have questions about what might be going on behind closed doors. So should we look at what happened with the vote last year? Of course we should. We completely overhauled our election laws. Anytime you make a major change to a policy area, you need to analyze whether that change served the goals of that policy area. If you make a change in education, that's major overhaul the way we do schools. We should evaluate, did that serve the goals of giving each child a good education? If we overhaul the way we do transportation, we should evaluate, did these changes serve the goals of having a good transportation system? And so if we do something that has never been done in the history of this state and send millions of ballots to people who do not ask for them, of course we need to look at whether this served the goal of having a free and fair election.
That was a really great answer. And can I just say, I love Kevin's humor he inserts, all these little Gavin Newsom cracks here and there, keep me laughing, keep you guys smiling. So I mean, I guess like if the